It's time, boys. It's time. What is up, Finn fans? The time is finally here. Week 1 of the NFL 2021 season. Can Tua Tagovailoa do it? Now, I don't want to get ahead of myself. There's a lot we got to talk about in this video. Mac Jones versus Tua, Tua versus Mac Jones. We all know that the whole title. But it's really Tua versus the Patriots defense, Mac Jones versus the Dolphins defense. That's what it really is. But everyone wants to put that title, and obviously I'm going to put that in the thumbnail for the live stream on Sunday. But before we jump into all this good stuff, week 1, very first real life, real action, meaning something football preview of the 2021 season, I got to shout out my guys at patchvibes.com. Be sure to check them out. Ton of great stuff over there. Ton of great t-shirts, hats, pins, patches, all that stuff. Use the promo code DDW. You get yourself 20% off and backroom collections. They have something going on with Jerome Baker, an autographed picture. Pop that up. Same thing with Zach Thomas. That's going to be happening a little further down the line. Go over, use the promo code DDW. You get yourself 10% off, and they have some fantastic, great artwork. Also, shout out to Derek for grabbing himself some DDW merch. He got the new stuff, Get It Done Miami. If you want to grab yourself some, you'll see the images below the video. So the way I do my previews is we start on the injury report. Then I break down 5 things the Dolphins need to do to beat whatever team they're playing. I try to make it specific on those teams, but sometimes they tend to blend together because it's like a uniform thing they have to do. And then I go into more detail on the game, and then I give you guys my prediction. So let's jump into the injury report. I'll pop up the Dolphins injury report. They got a little bit more players on their injury report, but not as many of them were limited. So you see that Liam Eichenberg practiced today, but on a limited basis. Preston Williams practiced today. Today being Thursday, you guys are seeing this Friday. But on a limited basis, everyone else, Savon Ahmed, Clayton Fejedelem, Devontae Parker, Landon Roberts, Albert Wilson, full, ready to go. How you doing? Then we look at the New England Patriots. Nelson Aguilar and Jalen Mills did not participate in practice today. I don't know what that means for them. And then Yandi Kajust? He was limited. Their tackle and their linebacker, Ronnie Perkins, was limited. He popped up on their injury report today for me, last night for you guys. So looking at this, looking at the New England Patriots and the way they're built and all that stuff, new team. So almost like a brand new spanking team for the New England Patriots than the one the Dolphins faced last season. This is the 5 things that the Dolphins need to do if they want to beat the New England Patriots. Now, it's in no specific order of most important to least important because I have 5. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not like 1 is more important than 5 or 5 is more important than 1. No, it's just this is, to me, the 5 things the Dolphins need to do to beat the Patriots. And for me, number 1, and again, not the most important, but to me, it is very important. They have to stop the run. Absolutely have to stop the run. If you went back and watched last year's week 1 against the New England Patriots, the reason the Patriots beat the Dolphins in that game was, yes, the turnovers from Ryan Fitzpatrick, but they just ran the ball down the Dolphins' throat. Cam Newton didn't really do much. It was the running, just constantly churning that ball, running it down the Dolphins' throat, and slowly making it down the field. If you look at the time of possession of that game, Dolphins barely had the ball because the Patriots were just slowly running the ball. They added 2 good running backs on their team in the draft and free agency this year. So the Dolphins really need to focus on stopping the run. You stop the run and you put it in Mac Jones' hand. You put it in the rookie's hand. I'm not saying he will make mistakes, but he is a rookie. The second thing that the Dolphins need to do for them to beat the New England Patriots in New England is the offensive line needs to be serviceable. I'm not talking great. I'm not talking elite. I'm not even really talking good. I'm like borderline good and serviceable. You got to give Tua enough time to let the receivers, get open and the plays develop. But not only that, because, I talk about the offensive line and you get the Tua haters and you get the people who have no objective look on the team and they say, oh, here comes Doug with the excuses for Tua. First off, I have no assessment on Tua yet. This is the year I decide if Tua is someone we could build around or we're moving on from him. So, not an excuse. If you know football, the trenches are ridiculously important. If your offensive line can't help you get a run game going, and if your offensive line can't help you pass the ball, then your offense isn't going to do crap. But yes, and I've said this time and time again, it's a yin and yang situation. If Tua holds the ball too long, if Tua has concrete feet, if Tua stares down his receivers, then it's not really the offensive line's fault that he gets sacked if he holds the ball for about 4 or 5 seconds. And it's kind of his fault. But from what we've seen, the offensive line hasn't been very great this offseason. So the offensive line needs to be serviceable. We need to have a run game, and we need to give Tua time for the passes to develop. If you don't want to have a check down Tua, if you don't want to have a check down Charlie or a 5-yard pass, then you need to give him more than 2.2 seconds he averaged last year to let the plays develop, let the receivers get more than 5 yards down the field to get those deep passes off. So the offensive line needs to be more serviceable. Number 3, the Miami Dolphins need to pressure/confuse Mac Jones. Now, they did it with Justin Herbert when we played him last year. There was a whole drive where they just ran the ball because they were afraid that Herbert was going to make a mistake because of the amoeba defense that the Dolphins were running was completely confusing Justin Herbert. He couldn't tell who was coming after him and who was dropping back in coverage and really messed him up. So that being said, do it again. Get into Mac Jones' head. Have him but unable to read the defense. Run a 3-3-5. Have a ton of defensive backs back there, but also blitz some of them. And send these exotic coverages and these exotic blitzes and have him not be able to point out the mic. Not have him to be able to realize if it's a single high safety to cover 2, whatever. Confuse him, but also at the same time get pressure on him. Facing Cam Newton versus facing Mac Jones was a big worry of mine. Dolphins don't do well against mobile quarterbacks. Ask Josh Allen last year when he ran over Kyle Van Noy and got an extra 2-3 yards after that. They don't do well on mobile quarterbacks. The fact that we're facing Mac Jones, who's not mobile, like, hey, Patriot fans, I know you're probably watching this, and if I say anything negative about Mac Jones, you're going to get your underwear in a twist, and you're going to get all bent out of shape, and don't talk about Mac like that. But you got to... He's not mobile. He's not. He's not going to, break our ankles like Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, even Patrick Mahomes, or Aaron Rodgers. He's not. He's not. So I got to admit that. Get pressure on the kid. You get pressure on the kid, you especially get pressure up front. Raekwon Davis, Christian Wilkins, Zyler, get pressure up the front, blitz Jerome Baker. Then all of a sudden he's got that pressure in his face and he has to make quick decisions. And then you get the interceptions from Xavier Howard. You get the ton of great turnovers. Get pressure on the kid. Now, my number 4 kind of coincides with my number 2. Like I said, offensive line needs to be serviceable. We've got to be able to run the ball. Give our defense time to breathe. If you hand the ball off on 1st and 10 and all of a sudden you get tackled for a 3-yard loss, 2nd and 13 isn't as easy to convert versus 2nd and 7, 2nd and 5. If we can get 4 or 5 yards a carry, that's fantastic. I'm not asking for big old chunk plays, which I love, a nice 80-yard touchdown run when we need it. But let the Dolphins churn that ball down the field. Let the Dolphins have a run game where they're just eating up a whole quarter, just moving it down slowly. We're up 7-3, right? And we just slowly move it down the field. Score a touchdown, go up 14-3, give the Patriots the ball back with like 50 seconds left in the half, and the Dolphins get the ball after the half. This one, just slowly churn that sucker and run the ball. You get 4 or 5 yards a carry, you run it 1st, 2nd down, all of a sudden it's like 3rd and 1. Way more serviceable than, get blown up for a loss, 1st and 12, and let's try to run it again, and you get blown up for a loss again. Now all of a sudden it's 3rd and 15. We punt the ball, and everyone blames Tua that we're punting the ball. You see what I'm talking about? So run the ball. It helps out the quarterback, it helps out the wide receivers, and it helps the defense if we have a run game. And the last and final thing that the Miami Dolphins, in my mind, have to do to beat the New England Patriots, and it's still New England, it's still Bill Belichick, and it's still in New England. You cannot, and I talk about this a lot in my last year previews, you cannot make mistakes. Tua, do not turn this ball over. Gaskin, Ahmed, Brown, that ball better not ever hit the ground. Parker, Williams, Wilson, Waddle, ball better never hit the ground. You better catch everything, and you better not tip it up in the air and cause an interception. No turnovers. On the defensive side, cover your man. Don't have blown coverages. Make the tackle. Wrap up. Don't do these shoulder tackles where you just bounce off to the guy. No mistakes. This isn't going to be an easy game. This is going into my little spiel before I make the pick. This isn't going to be an easy game. If any Dolphin fan sits here and says to you, "Oh, we're gonna shellac or beat down on the New England Patriots. We're gonna win 35-14." Take them for a CT scan. Because 2008 was the last time we did that in New England. And that's because of the Wildcat. This isn't going to be an easy game. And this isn't going to be a game where the Dolphins are going to one-sided, single-handedly beat the New England Patriots. Now, like I said, Mac Jones isn't as mobile as Cam Newton, and that does play into our advantage. But you cannot look at Mac Jones and look at him as a rookie and look at him as a not mobile quarterback rookie and think, oh, this is going to be a breeze. We have a fantastic secondary in Byron Jones, Xavier Howard, Nick Needham, Coleman, McCourty, Eric Rowe. Fantastic. We're going to just get pressure on him and have the secondary pick him off. You think you're going to walk in there and it's going to be a breeze. It's not. And then Mac Jones is going to look fantastic, and then all of a sudden everyone's going to be like, well, Mac Jones is the better Alabama quarterback. And we're going to have to hear that for a whole week. Then we're going to have to hear a ton of things for a whole week. So don't take Mac Jones lightly. Also, this is a big game for Tua Tagovailoa. A huge game for Tua Tagovailoa. Unfortunately, the way the NFL is nowadays, and the Cardinals set that standard for the way the NFL is nowadays, they had Josh Rosen. They had a first season, but they were able to get that first overall pick, and they took Kyler Murray. And goodbye, Josh Rosen. Never got a chance. If this was about 10 years ago, you get about 3 years as a starting quarterback. Let's see what we can do. You got your rookie. The way it works is you're a rookie, right? If you do well, fantastic. You're a rookie. You did well. Cool. If you do bad, well, you're a rookie. And then if you do bad your second year, well, there's that sophomore slump. And then if you do bad your third year, well, then you're not going to make it in the NFL. We're going to move on. Nowadays, you don't do that well. You're not a Hall of Famer, elite rookie quarterback. Well, we're going to move on from you because time is of the essence. So he has a ton of pressure on him. A ton. He can't come out and have a bad game. He cannot throw an interception. Now, if he comes out and throws, 2 touchdowns and throws for 300 yards and we lose, that's not his fault. And I'm not blaming him for it. But if we come out and, he throws 2 more interceptions and throws for 1 touchdown and $150 and we win, I'm going to be like, what's going on with Tua? That's not good. And we can't win off of that. We got lucky in this game. So there's a lot of pressure on this kid, but I think he's going to do well under pressure. We've seen him do well under pressure on the big stage and in the NFL. They had a ton of pressure on him, get thrown into the start like that. The other thing I want to talk about is the fact that the New England Patriots do not have Stephon Gilmore. That is a huge advantage for the Miami Dolphins. They have one good quarterback in J.C. Jackson on the field who almost tied Xavier Howard with interceptions. I think he had 9 on the season last year. Good quarter. But not having Stephon Gilmore opposite of him, the Dolphins are going to pick on whatever corner that is opposite of J.C. Jackson. So that is a huge advantage. And the other huge advantage, and I know there's that whole story out there of Malcolm Perry telling Bill Belichick things because Bill Belichick came out and said that, I think he said Gotze is going to be calling the plays and yada, yada, this and that. Do you not think that the Miami Dolphins, their whole hush-hush situation, because everyone's getting all bent out of shape. I'll talk about that in a second with comment of the day. But do you think that the Miami Dolphins don't have everything situated where they think Gotze's calling the plays? You think Gotze's, all right, Studeville, you're calling the plays. Or screw it. The quarterback, if you guys watched me and Big O's conversation last week, he touched upon it perfectly. They're both probably calling the plays. Down to the quarterback's coach who coached Tua, who is really good friends with Tua, who knows how Tua works and is a quarterback in the NFL at some point. So he knows how to talk to him. They're going to call the play down to him, and he's going to say to him, this is what Big O said, made a ton of sense. Listen, we're going to run this play. Remember on the last play, the safety slid to the right, and you tried to force it in there. When he slides to the right, throw to the underneath, because we noticed. So they're expecting Godsey or Studsville to be calling the plays, but I bet you it's going to be the quarterback coach who's going to get it relayed to him, and he's going to talk to Tua one-on-one because they have that history together. So there's not a lot of film game one. So you're going into this game kind of blind. That being said, I am picking the Miami Dolphins to win this game. I talked about it when I did my prediction, but I think it's going to be a close game. I think that the defenses are going to be really good, especially with New England having a lot of their defensive players coming back. I'm picking the Dolphins to win this one 21-17. I hope and pray that they win this one. But comment below. If you're a Patriot fan, I feel like I was super fair. I wasn't, super like pooping on you guys. But comment below. Obviously, you think you're going to beat the Dolphins. But what do you guys have to do to beat the Dolphins? And don't say nothing. You guys suck. Because then when we beat you, I don't want to hear any excuses of, well, the refs helped you guys out and Mac Jones tripped over his own shoelaces. But comment below. And Dolphin fans, if I missed anything that you think the Dolphins need to do to beat the New England Patriots, comment below. Let me know. But comment of the day. I want to talk about Tua for comment of the day because I get a lot of comments about Tua. He's our starting quarterback. He is hopefully the franchise quarterback. But I get a lot of conversations about Tua, right? This is a big game for Tua. He needs to come out and he needs to shut a lot of people up. This whole offseason was just poop on Tua time. Literally just poop on Tua. So this kid had to deal with a lot. He had to deal with a lot of outside noise. I don't think he had to deal with a lot of inside noise. And I do think that Brian Flores runs his ship tight. And a lot of these rumors that come out, I don't think are true. So that being said, there's also the whole captain situation. Well, he wasn't picked to be a captain. Why wasn't he picked? Who cares? We don't know the criteria, or we don't know how it goes about picking the captains of this team. Yes, the players pick the captains, but I'm hearing from Matt Collins, from himself, from his own mouth hole, that you have to throw your name in the hat. You have to go up in front of everyone and say, I want to be a captain, and here's why I want to be a captain. And I bet you Tua sat back and said, I'm going to let these guys take it. I'm going to let them take the limelight. I don't need it. Now, this is me assuming, just like everyone else is assuming, that the reason the Dolphins team didn't pick Tua is because they don't believe in him. They don't have his back. They everyone's making up whatever reason Tua wasn't the captain that fits their narrative. If you honestly think the team doesn't back Tua, just go back and read quotes from Lynn Bowden Jr. Obviously, he's still on the team, but he's not playing. Mike Gesicki said he's going to bat for him. I can raffle down a ton of players that came out and said how good Tua's been doing, how much of a leader he's been. Matt Collins even said it. So let's stop that. And also, if you're a Dolphins fan, and I'm seeing this a lot in the comment section, you're rooting against the Dolphins because you want it to be right about Tua, you're not a Dolphins fan. Plain and simple. I don't care if Tom Brady was our quarterback last year. I would have hated it, but I would have rooted for this team to win. I don't care who the quarterback is. I'm going to root for this team to win, regardless if I think he is capable or not. Hey, Chad Henne was our quarterback. I was rooting for us to win. John Beck was our quarterback. I was rooting for us to win. They weren't capable of anything. And before I end this, I want to just say I can decipher the difference. There are people in the comment section who are critical of Tua and think he won't be the next, thing, or he won't lead us to anything. But they won't root against the Dolphins. And I know who they are. So you don't have to defend yourself in the comment section. I know who you are. There are people, though, who hate Tua so much that they'd rather watch us lose so Tua can be gone than watch us win and be successful and then be wrong. You're not a Dolphins fan. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. Like I said, I don't care who is the quarterback of this team. I just want to win a Super Bowl. I want to be successful. I want to beat the New England Patriots in New England. That's all I care about. But that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, very first preview of the season. You got the very first preview of the preseason. Now this is the very first preview of the season. Like I said before, comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Patriot fan, Dolphin fan. I don't care. I'm going to be live for the game, 4:25 on Sunday. I hope there are Patriot fans in there. To my mods, don't time them out. Don't block them. If they say anything bad about the Dolphins, that's the fun of watching football with opposite fans. If they get nasty, if they curse, and they, you know what to do, but don't time them out. Let them sit there and watch, because hopefully the Dolphins win, and then all of a sudden they'll come up with all these excuses. But other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you hit the subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, you're getting one of these preview videos for every single game. You're getting a live stream for every single game. And after the game on Sunday, you will get a post video, probably a little bit later, being that it's a 4:25 game, probably around 8 o'clock. But other than that, guys, I will see you Sunday, 4:25, for the Miami Dolphins heading to New England to take on the New England Patriots. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I want to win this bad, but I'm excited. Well, like usual, guys, stay classy. See you Sunday. And fins up.